Most dentists think owning a practice is the key to financial freedom. But for most, it's just another high-paying job. You work harder than ever, trying to grow production, manage staff, hire consultants, and constantly putting out fires. But at the end of the day, if your income depends on you being in the chair working, you don't have a business, you have a trap. All right, hear me out. Today I'm going to break down, number one, the 3 biggest financial mistakes that keep dentists stuck grinding in their practice for 30 plus years. Number 2, how the wealthiest practice owners think and operate differently. And number 3, the exact framework you can apply today to shift from busy dentist to financially free dentist. Also, stick around until the end because I'm going to share the exact shift that took me from working 6 days a week as a stressed and overwhelmed endodontist to having the freedom to practice on my own terms, invest on my own terms, and build a life where I'm truly work optional. All right, before I get into it, I gotta let you know we are having our Walk of Wealth in-person summit. It's called the Passive Investing for Dentists Summit.
Looking to invest money and you had a liquidity event, or if you have a little cash, you don't know where to put it and you want it to grow exponentially, you want passive income, this is the event that you have to be at. I'll see you next year.
All right, Passive Investment for Dentists. Great seminar. I learned a lot today. I would recommend it to anybody who is aspiring to invest and make money for them.
As soon as you can get this information in your data bank, in that brain, and start implementing the strategies, boy, you're going to be able to live life and actually not be a slave to the dental practice. Your money is going to start to work for you, and you're going to enjoy life. You're going to have more time for your family and do some things that are outside dentistry.
It's going down in July 18th and 19th in beautiful Miami, Florida. If you want to learn about passive investing and tools and strategies of financial freedom from industry leaders, experts, and thought leaders, you have to come to this event. Come network with myself and 200 other successful dentists that we're all in the pursuit of a common interest, which is financial freedom. We have very limited tickets, and the price for the tickets go up with time. If you're interested, click on the link in the description, and I'll see you at the conference. All right, let's get into it. Section 1, the 3 biggest financial mistakes keeping dentists trapped. Now, my brother has a very busy dental practice, right? It's a very busy practice. He has multiple associates, a lot of staff, and he continues to pour money into the practice. He continues to buy more instruments, 3D scanner, bring in a crown, a C-rack machine, bring in, keep adding extra cabinets, chairs, and he's constantly reinvesting his profits, which can be a good thing because some of the biggest ROI you can get is reinvesting into your business, reinvesting into yourself. Nothing will give you a better ROI, but they never actually build real wealth. I mean, you can build significant wealth when you're selling, but I guarantee that you're making at least one of these 3 mistakes. Mistake number 1 is confusing a high income with wealth. Just because you have a high income doesn't mean that you're necessarily building wealth proportionately. I know dentists pulling in $2 million a year in production, but keeping only $200,000 after overhead, staff, debt payments, and taxes. Meanwhile, I know practice owners making half of that, but keeping and compounding more. Who do you think ends up wealthier? The people compounding is as Albert Einstein said, the 7th wonder of the world. Those who understand it will earn it. Those who do not will pay it. Now, the difference, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and how much works for you while you sleep. Mistake number 2, treating your practice like a job, not an asset. If your practice only makes money when you are in the chair, you don't own a business. You own a job, a demanding job at that. Now, wealthy practice owners focus on systematizing, hiring, and removing themselves from the day-to-day operation. Now, this is a true B in Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant. That's building a real business, one that can run and produce income with or without them. If you don't do this or learn to produce income outside of your practice, you will always be tied to your handpiece. What dentists need to realize and have a shift from their mindset of how do I grow my practice to how do I make my practice work for me? That's when everything changes. Mistake number 3, reinvesting everything into your practice and ignoring passive wealth. Most dentists pour everything back into their practice. New equipment, expansion, marketing, consultants, thinking that that's the only way to grow. But the wealthiest practice owners we talked about earlier don't just grow their practice. They use their profits to buy passive income producing assets. You see, if your entire wealth strategy is reinvesting in a business that requires you to operate, you're playing a dangerous game fraught with risk. Some people say, hey, that's you. This is betting on you. This is betting on yourself. This is betting on your business. I'm okay with that. I agree with doing that. But that shouldn't be the only bet you have. If you're sitting at a poker table and you've won a whole bunch of chips, you don't need to keep all the chips on the table in order to keep bullying the hands and going all in. Instead, you can start taking a little off the table that you know that you can keep to put some work somewhere else for you. That's all we're talking about here. Now, I know a dentist who spent 20 years growing his practice, thinking it would fund his retirement. But when he wanted to sell, he realized that the practice wasn't worth much without him running it. DSO's huge offers were filled with a whole bunch of red tape and things to keep him tied there for another 5 years. So meanwhile, another dentist, in just 10 years, he started taking 30% of his profits and investing it passively in real estate, private equity, oil and gas, year after year after year. Just a small 20% of his profits, 20 to 30% of his profits. And he didn't make as much money as the other guy. But guess who ended up absolutely financially free? Right? He's a young man and he's still financially free. Section 2, how wealthy dentists think and operate differently. Now, the dentists that I know who are financially free, the ones who choose to work, instead of being forced to work, operate by a different set of rules. Here's how they think differently. Number one, they prioritize cash flow over growth. Most dentists chase production and top-line growth. Well, that wealthy dentists, they chase cash flow. They want their money working for them, so even if they never pick up a drill again, their income doesn't stop. Number two, they buy assets, not just more overhead. Most dentists upgrade their lifestyle as soon as their practice starts making money. Bigger homes, luxury cars, vacations, Birkin purses, and new Rolexes. Wealthy dentists use their profits to buy assets that create passive income. Real estate, private investments, income-producing businesses. For example, instead of upgrading to a $5 million home, I bought a self-storage portfolio that generates 6 figures of passive income. That income pays for my lifestyle without touching my practice income. Imagine if you said something like that. Hey, look, I spent $5 million on a self-storage portfolio of properties. Or I invested in self-storage portfolios with, I put $1 million in self-storage, I put $1 million in oil and gas, I put $1 million in multifamily, I put $500,000 in fixed income, and I put $500,000 in private equity. That income pays for my lifestyle. That, if you were to build a portfolio like that, I can all but guarantee that the income pays for your lifestyle without touching your practice income. Number 3, they use strategic tax strategies to keep more wealth. The biggest leak in most dentists' finances, taxes. Wealthy dentists don't just accept, hey, we all have to pay taxes and taxes are an expense that we can do nothing about. Instead, they build entire strategies to legally reduce them. They use depreciation from real estate, depreciation from oil and gas investments, tax-efficient wealth structures, retirement accounts, life insurance policies to keep more of the hard-earned money. Section 3, the framework for breaking free. So how do you shift from just running a busy practice to actually building wealth? Here's the exact framework. Step 1, pay yourself first. This is called the cash flow first strategy. Before you pour every dollar back into your practice, you take 20 to 30% of your profits and save that to invest in passive cash flowing assets. Real estate, private deals, alternative investments, debt funds, preferred equity. The list goes on and on with alternates. If you want to learn more about building a strategy on how to invest across several different asset classes to reach your goals, go to our website, schedule a call with myself or one of my team members, and we're more than happy to help you do that. Step number 2, systematize and remove yourself from the chair. If your practice can't run without you, you don't have a real business. The goal should be to build a practice that doesn't rely on you for daily operations. That means hiring, systematizing, and stepping back so you can focus on building wealth, building the business, and not just top line revenue. Step number 3, use tax efficient investments to keep more wealth. Most dentists overpay in taxes by literally 6 figures every year, simply because they don't know any better. They're not taught anything any better. Their financial advisors definitely wouldn't tell them. So the wealthy, however, understand that they can use investments like real estate and oil and gas and all the things we've mentioned to legally offset W-2 income taxes, 1099 income taxes, capital gains taxes, estate taxes, right? Keeping way more of what you earn. All right, guys, this video is getting long. I thank you so much for being here. Now, the difference between a dentist who grinds for 30 years and a dentist who's financially free isn't luck, it's strategy. You don't build wealth by just working harder. You build it by thinking differently. Now, if you got value from this, smash the like button, subscribe, and comment down below with your biggest takeaways. And if you want to learn exactly how I invest and how help other dentists escape the chair and build financial freedom, check out our website and definitely come to the conference. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video.